So in this unit, we first started talking about density as a comparison. We looked at how solids were and we looked at how liquids were and we saw how they were related and what happened, why wood floated, why did my Kit Kat bar float in water, why did the York peppermint patty sink? And it's because of the differences of density, right? If something was less than 1 is the density of water, so 1 gram per milliliter, then it would float. So if it was zero point 0.8, it would float to the top of the glass. However, if it was above that, say 1.2 or 1.3 grams per milliliter, then it would sink. So what we saw was that our solids had more stuff than our liquids in those given areas. Now, our density is pretty much always going to be compared to the same amount. It could either be 1 cubic centimeter or 1 milliliter. There are some other versions out there, but this is what we're going to stick to. We're going to stick with this idea that we're always going to compare it to how much stuff is in either 1 cubic centimeter of space or 1 milliliter of space. Okay. So that means if I'm looking at my solids, now my solids range from 0.5 all the way to 20. So they can get pretty heavy. My liquids, on the other hand, range from 0.8 to 14. There's some minor overlap in here, right? But really what we're seeing is more stuff here, less stuff here. Now, if it was wood, right, there was less stuff in one given area of the wood than there was the water. Now, when we did our last lab, our density of a gas lab, what we saw was there's a lot less stuff in a given area. So if you remember, we took our graduated cylinder, we collected CO2 gas from an Alka-Seltzer, we measured the mass of the Alka-Seltzer before and after, and we did our density calculation. We did our mass that we had the volume that we had, and we found out that it was a very tiny number. So if we look at it in a graph, our solids are up here, our liquids are somewhere in between, and our gas is way down here, almost hugging that x-axis there. They're not really going to rise too much. Because with a gas, they're very spread out. And what we're going to see next class is that they don't like to necessarily be near each other. They like to find the edges of things. And what they're going to do is spread out, and they have a lot of energy. So next class, we're going to be looking at energy and what that means. All right, so we'll talk to you next class. Thank you very much. Bye.